found out a bit more about the mining operation that was going on, and I think the last thing that we did, apart from seeing this creepy guy over here, the last thing we did was took a look around the room inside the adorably small house, where there was a hole in the middle with a chain going down, but the crane that the chain was hanging off of is missing a part. So I think the only place to go now is right to the end of Fairy Tale Town, where there is an exit we haven't taken yet. Let's run past all of these things. Save our bullets. Yeah, so this is it. Let's head on in and see what's going on. Okay, so we've come back outside into an active construction site. Well, it's not active anymore, but it's not finished. It says Cosmic Future coming summer 1990. I think the year is currently 1990 in the game, not in real life. So we're a bit behind schedule. There's a notice on the wall that says, "I wonder what kind of wondrous things await us in the future. Edward Grow, park owner." Okay, we can kind of peek over the top with the camera, but there's not too much to see. It's just a construction site. There's a note, a handwritten letter on top of some cinder blocks. It says, "Hey Ed, want some good news? I finally found a good site for our gold mine. It's in Para, northern Brazil. Just like we wanted, there's a disused mine here. The locals gave up on it years ago. It's still in decent shape, so it shouldn't be too much work to get it looking the part. Marv." That's interesting. I wonder if it means the theme park was never the main plan for this area. They always wanted it to be a mine. I hope we find out some more as we go. There's another sign on the wall that says, "Here at Crow Country, we can't wait to share our optimistic vision of the future with you. Douglas Pike, Park Operations." Okay, I spot a trash can. Let's hope there's something good in there. Just a banana peel. And what does this memo say? "If you're looking for the machine chain, one of the swanboat people took it to fix a broken swan. I told them not to take it, and they took it anyway. You can't reason with swanboat people." Not the first time I've heard that. Okay, and I think the final thing to check out in this room is this hole in the fence. Let me just double check how we're doing for ammo. thinks this is how Arthur got in. That's the journalist who we found injured. Seems like he cut himself on the fence. That's strange, he didn't mention that when we found him with his injury. He said he'd got bit. Maybe he just has 2 injuries. Okay, so looking at our map, it seems we have an unsolved puzzle in the swan boats and in the dig site. I wonder if them being circled means that we have all of the items available to us to solve them right now. Okay, I'm just thinking, what could we do? Let's head back to the swan boats. It's been a while since we've had a look. Let's dodge these piles of meat on the floor. And oh, I got stuck on that, man. Oh, okay, straight past him and back up to the swan boats. I'm wondering, what I remember was this swan is waiting for something egg-shaped. Oh, here's an antidote. I had read about an egg-shaped ruby, but we don't have access to that just yet. I'm wondering whether a grenade is maybe egg-shaped enough. No luck, it doesn't show up in our usable items. Okay, so we still have the egg-shaped swan head. The broken wheel, the gap in the fence, and I think I see the chain around that swan's neck is potentially what we're looking for as part of the note we just read. Let's have a thorough look around this room. What's this? I wouldn't know how to repair it. I think this staff member had details about how to repair. No, that was the note about the egg-shaped object. Now there's always the potential that we might need to shoot something, but I don't think I spot anything worth shooting. There's a hole in the fence. I can reach the edge of the water. Okay. And if we investigate this broken wheel, yeah, pretty sure it's broken. Okay then, let's head to the other area that was circled, which was the dig site. That was one of the last places we checked last time, but potentially I just missed something. Trying to get a good look of what's in that jar. I think it's an antidote, so we don't need that. Let's head back into the dig site. So this was the room with the chain running down the middle. We can't lift the chain without the missing item. A bucket full of rocks. Let's check this page. I'm not sure if we read it. Yeah, I think we did. Pipe valve doesn't seem to be any use to us right now. And a trash can that we've already searched. Another bucket full of rocks. I wonder if we could have found an egg-shaped rock. It doesn't seem like that's the direction we want to go in, though. And a large metal tank. A large metal tank. Okay, well, it seems like we are a little bit out of options at the moment. At the moment, we have a few things that we are looking for. There is an egg-shaped object that we need for the swan boats. There is some gasoline for the automatic weapon in the dig site, and a missing piece of machinery for the crane to lift it up. Let's head back to the central area. We do have this creepy tool man again. I'm wondering, now that we know that Arthur broke in and injured himself on the fence, maybe he has something to say about it. But it's also been a little while since we checked the toilets. I don't remember them being quite so dark. Okay, this thing has come out of the toilet. I can hear some more noises as well. Let's see if we can take it out. Oh. It bent backwards just as I was about to shoot it. Wow. Not my finest moment. I think I must have missed 3 or 4 shots. Oh, as well as taken a few hits. Well, I think now's a good time to use one of our large medkits. Okay. So I remember this toilet stall being blocked. I suppose by that thing. It's covered in blood. It smells so bad. Oh my god. Okay. There was a tip here. This was the magazine where we found one of Arthur's photos. This was the toilet with a pile of old bones in it. And this was just an empty stall. Okay. No luck in the toilet. Let's head back out the front and see what Arthur has to say for himself. We'll run on down and out the front. Okay. Let's talk to him. Okay, so I've just moved through some dialogue. Arthur wants to leave, but Mara's looking for Edward Crow. Arthur says that the park shut down ages ago and he won't be here. Morris says that he's here, and I have to talk to him. Why? And there's something I have to tell him. Okay, not much use. Not much use talking to him. Okay. Now there is a crow in a machine that will give us a hint about where to go next. I wonder if it's worth having a chat to him. Let's see what he's got to say. It's a fortune-telling machine. We have 9 credits. Would you like to hear your fortune? Yes, please. The crow says, the crank handle is locked in a safe. Okay. Okay. I remember there being a safe in the safe room on the other side of the utility hall, but I seem to remember that we didn't have a code to go into it. Maybe some closer inspection will help us figure out what the code is. Okay, so here's the cabinet with what looks like a safe on the bottom. Yeah, it says there's, there is a keypad that we could enter in, but we don't have a code. I do still remember that painted in blood there is a code of 2106. 2106 on the floor of the fairy tale town, but there's no 0 on this pad. I'm not sure if it's worth just entering in random years. That doesn't feel in the spirit of investigation. Okay. Let's give it a quick save and we'll run back out and see where we stand. I did notice that on the map it doesn't seem to show us the room on the other side of the fairy tale pond, but we did go in there. Shall we have another look? Maybe there's something else for us to find. We'll also keep our eyes peeled for any potential codes. Any potential codes. I'm glad that nothing jumped out of the fence this time. So, let me just have a look at that cigarette machine. I'm not sure quite how in-depth these puzzles might get, but I do note that there's 4 columns of cigarettes, and each of them seems to have a different number of cigarettes in them. We'll keep that in our back pocket as a potential solution to something. Let's run past this thing staring into the pond. So, yes, this was the back rooms-esque room. Does it show up on our map yet? No. Maybe it just considers it part of the fairy pond. Yeah, nothing much for us to do here. Nothing much for us to do here. Let's go back past that thing. I wonder if we could lure this into the bear trap. Well, that did the trick. Two birds with one stone. The monster's down and the bear trap's out of our way. Yeah. I was just considering if maybe I'd read the code wrong and it wasn't a 0, but I don't really see what else it could be. Okay. I think our next best option might be to go back to the save room and review some of the memos that we have so far. One of them might have a clue as to the code. Let me run on down. Here we are, safe and sound in the save room. And was it this book? With the memos, okay. Number 1 is that there's something wrong with the ventilator in the fairy pond area, which we have already seen. Number 2 is that someone dropped the bronze key into the fairy pond, which we already have. Number 3 says that the quickest way to the tollman's office, is through the fairy pond. So that must be the back office we've seen. Number 4 is that the machine chain has been used to fix a broken swan. We've seen that chain. We're missing number 5, but number 6 says that the dig site access is in the cute little house. We've been there. Number 7 is that fixing the water filter requires us to have the pressure at the right place. We've solved that puzzle. Number 8 is that the Ocean Kingdom Trident is in the Witchwood. Number 9 is that the crank handle this one is about the crank handle, and it says, afterwards I locked the crank handle in a safe in the southeast utility corridor. I think this is what we're looking for. Okay. Of course we've just been through a utility corridor. I'm not sure about the actual compass direction we're in. Based on the orientation of the map, it looks like we're in the northwest. Southeast would bring us out by that tall creature in the central area. We'll have a quick look while we're here in this corridor, just in case we've missed something, but otherwise I think it would make sense to check out that central area again to see if we can make it through a door. Yeah, there's lots of grimy vents and pipes on the wall, but nothing that looks like a safe. Okay, well, back to the central area we go. It should be easier this time because we have taken out one of the monsters as well as as well as the bear trap. Oh, okay, so that tall fellow, I think, is stood right next to what could be the southeastern corridor. Are we gonna have to take him out? Maybe now's the best time. I'm considering using one of our grenades. Shall we check out how good it might be? Well, it was impressive but didn't seem to do too much damage. Perhaps we can lure him over to the explosive barrel. Come on, this way. Oh, he doesn't seem to want to move. Well, let's just take the chance to give him a quick headshot or two. Well, he sort of exploded and fell apart into thin sticks. Okay. We found a large metal gate. Ah, perfect. I think I have looked at this, but I've forgotten completely that the bronze key opens this gate. Okay. It is creaked open. Let's continue. Oh, how interesting. How interesting. I know that this might be intended to be spooky and scary, but I absolutely love how the haunted hilltop area looks. I'm a huge sucker for haunted mansions and gothic castles, so this is perfect. There's a load of pumpkins lining the streets. I can hear a banging to our right. But let's read this signpost. It says, "The Dungeon, Witchwood, Haunted Manor and the Crypt," with some directions. Okay, we have some choices of where to go. Shall we investigate this banging? Ah, here's a wooden notice board. Let's give it a read. There's a map. Ah, has this completed our map? With the haunted hilltop area. Perfect. Just what we needed. Oh, can you see a spooky set of eyes? It's just behind a tip. Let's approach. It's a page from a magazine. It reads, the glass bottles with red caps can be broken open at the cost of a single handgun bullet. You can see what's inside the bottle before you choose to break it. Okay. I think we've already opened up one of those. Oh, hello. Hello. There's a person banging on a door over here. Let's go and see what they want. They look fairly human. Mara says, what are you doing? Julie says, trying to get through this door. possible. Right, I'll go have a look. And we just repeat that last part. How interesting. And that's a very strange sight to see an abandoned theme park, but neither character seems to find it that weird. Anyway, we found a trash can. Oh, nothing but a banana peel. And there's a staff memo here which reads, "Please be careful around the haunted manor bookcases. Read the book titles carefully. In fact, it'd be easier if you just didn't touch them at all, okay?" Right, we'll keep that in mind when we get into the haunted manor. So there is another cigarette machine. And the door to the Witchwood seems to be closed. There is, however, an indentation on a post just next to it. It seems that something's missing, but we wouldn't have anything to add to it. On the other side of the Witchwood door, there is a post with a face in an indentation. It says he's smiling at me. Gross. We have the option of taking it. It can't hurt, right? Let me grab it. Ah, I couldn't move him. You know, I think he's fine where he is, Mara says. Okay. I assume we're looking for another face to go on the other side. So we can either head to the dungeon, the haunted manor. Ah. Okay. Moving up towards the haunted manor, I can see a monster roaming around. Maybe that would suggest that the dungeon is better to go in right now. Let's investigate. Okay, so here we are in the dungeon. It looks quite dim, quite dank, and I can see some blood on top of some torture device. Not too great. Okay, let's investigate. There's a tip here that says, when talking to NPCs, make sure you've seen all their dialogue before moving on. If you see a speech bubble icon above an NPC's head, try talking to them again. That's a good tip. Okay, there are some cages. If I try one of the cell doors, it doesn't open. But there is a sign just next to it, which reads, "The Deadly Mermaid, imprisoned for crimes against nature 1837. We can press a button at the bottom of the sign." That was spooky. A ghostly looking mermaid jumped up. I wonder what's in this cell. Let's check the door first. Yeah, it doesn't open. I can see a box of handgun bullets inside though. It would be nice to get those. The sign on this cell reads, "The Deceptive Serpent, imprisoned for crimes against nature 1800 BCE. Get ready, I'm gonna press the button. Oh, a snake popped up. Okay, let's take a slight break from investigating the cells to read a newspaper on this torture device in the middle of the room. It says, selling to at least 2 major international companies. But why, you ask, are we reporting this in the Atlanta Globe? Well, it's recently surfaced that the gold mine in question is actually owned by local landowner and businessman Edward Crowe. Most readers probably only know him as the eponymous owner of the Crowe Country theme park here in Atlanta, and indeed it seems there has been some effort to cover up Mr. Crowe's connection to this profitable gold mine. While eyebrows are certainly being raised at this revelation, at least we've finally discovered the source of Crowe's vast wealth. That's very interesting to know. So, there is a link to Para, Brazil, and this gold mine. What is interesting is it seems that gold was being sent from Crowe's country to Para, but there's already a gold mine in Para, and it is also owned by Edward Crowe. Hopefully we find out a bit more about that link. Seems very suspicious to me. Okay, another cell. The sign reads, "The violent Cyclops imprisoned for crimes against nature 700 BCE. Get ready, I'm going to press the button. Yeah, as expected, a Cyclops appears in the cell. And one more cell to check. This sign reads, "The Big Bad Wolf imprisoned for crimes against nature 1810. Let's press the button. And a wolf appears. Okay, we've got a mermaid, a serpent, a cyclops, and a wolf. Let's read this memo on the wall. We had a complaint from a parent about the depiction of alcohol in the mermaid cage. Of all the things to complain about, I told her it's not an alcohol bottle. It's a bottle of highly corrosive acid that actually seemed to placate her." Got it. Corrosive acid in the mermaid cell. There's something that looks a bit like an Iron Maiden torture device. It is an Iron Maiden. Let's investigate. Shall we try and open the doors? Okay. This Iron Maiden potentially is actually an elevator or something. We could go in and there looks to be a button on the wall. Before we do that, there's a couple more things to check in this room. There's a metal handle here. It's a winch for the torture rack. Let's turn it by holding A. That was fun, Mara says. I would have made a good medieval torturer guy. Wait, no, I take that back. Okay. Maybe that's related to something. I didn't see that it actually did anything. Okay. I've moved forwards to a table covered is a matching computer in the model railway. We need a security disk to access them. Okay, I think now is the time to investigate this Iron Maiden. Let's press this little button and see what happens. I'm hoping that the doors don't slam shut and trap me in here. Oh no. The doors closed. There was a yelp from inside, but the Iron Maiden turned around and has allowed me to enter a new area. Okay, it didn't do any damage, which is nice. There's nothing on the map that would suggest where we are. I wonder if this is the utility corridor that we're looking for with the safe. No, I don't think so anymore. There is a staff memo on the wall though, which reads, "The power switch for the 4 periphery elevators is in Tolman's office." Yes, that's the other side of the park. Yes, that means you're in the wrong place. Okay, I appreciate the sassiness. Oh, interesting. There's a tip, and it says, "Watch out for gas traps laying on the ground. You can smash them from a safe distance with a single handgun bullet." Let's just have a quick look around, see if we can find any of those traps. No, I can't spot any. But there's a box of Magnum ammo in a hole in the wall. Okay. The door at the end of this corridor is locked and won't open. Well, I can see a monster over the wall and a room to investigate, but no way to get there. There's a mysterious square space in the wall, but apart from blindly shooting into it, there doesn't seem to be anything to do. Okay, well, let's leave the way we came. Back into the Iron Maiden. And it spins around again. Oh, look at that. Now that we're back in the dungeon, there's piles of goop on the floor. I don't want to let them get to me. Okay, so opening these cells would be useful, but I'm thinking we might need the security disk to use the computer and open up the cells. Next, let's head upwards to the haunted mansion. There was a monster roaming around, so we might need to take it out. Should we lower it past this barrel? I want to try and save as much ammo as possible. Come on over, come on over. Just a little bit closer. No. It's lost interest. Yeah, this way. Okay. We took out that one, and I do spot another one in the distance, but it's next to a bear trap that I think we could use. Oh, it's a tall one though. Even so, the bear trap took it out nice and quickly. I see a glass bottle with a grenade in it. I think I'll leave it there for now, and instead check out this bin, and then talk to that chicken on top of the banister. Just trash, it's a soda can. Hello, chicken. This chicken's hooting and hollering. It seems like he hoots 5 times. Yeah, and then stops. Is he supposed to be an owl? He's shaped more like a bell. Okay, some interesting clues there. I did think he was a chicken though. This seems a bit on the nose, but there is, right behind this funny looking chicken, a door and a bell. I wonder, after we pick up this handgun ammo, if we ring this bell 5 times, will the door open? Let's give it a go. What do you know? 5 rings and the door's opened. Just quickly though. I spy some antidote on the floor, but okay, it looks like 5 is the max. Well, I'm actually quite excited to go into the haunted manor and see what's going on. Okay. Well, it's very spooky, obviously, but I love the look of this haunted manor. The first thing I've come to is an old globe. It looks pretty fragile, but I have the option of spinning it. Let's give it a go. So many places I had never visited. I wonder if we spin it enough, will it release some treasure? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, that's 10 spins. The other option, of course, is shooting it. I don't know if I'm that desperate to find out what's inside just yet. What I do spot is a very classic looking ghost. Like a person with a sheet on their head. Shall we head on over and say hello? Oh, it's shy. As I walk over, it kind of closes its eyes. I don't know about you, but I think it looks quite cute. There's another fortune teller in the corner, which we don't need right away. There's a window with some occasional flashes of lightning. Well, on inspection, it turns out it's not real, it's just a picture. It hasn't rained in a while, actually. There's a bookcase. Let's examine it. It says a swift and sudden end by B. Slain. Now I remember there was a memo about being careful about which books you take. I think if I had to guess, that one would not be good to take. Another bookcase. This one says, Beginner's Guide to First Aid by A.M. is a very large painting of a musical note made up from bones. Inspecting it, it says Harmony Will Fade by Alguna Licenza, I think. I think F-A-D-E would be good to remember. Now, this phone has been ringing. Oh. Some loud thunder. This phone has been ringing for a while. Let's answer. Hello, says Mara. You came back, says an unidentified voice. Who is this? I'll admit, I'm glad to see you're up and about. Oh, the tenacity of youth. And with that, the voices hung up. How curious, how curious. It seems like the weather's picking up. Here's another large painting. This is a skull where the teeth look like piano keys. It says Melody of the Dead by Allegretto Vivaci. Allegretto Vivaci. Okay, so we have Fade and Dead to remember. A staff memo on the wall. It says the clocks need regular winding, but please don't attempt it without the correct tool. Got it. Another one of those adorable ghosts. Excuse me, I just need to get through. So, this is a large clock. By examining it, it says there is a hole in the middle of the clock face. We have the option of trying to wind it up, but as the note mentioned, we don't have the correct tool. Here's a painting of a demon. His mouth is a deep hole, and it says, Adramelech, the Undying, blamed for many deaths between 1020 and 1115. I refused to put my hand in there, Mara says. Not happening. Well, with the two clocks either side, I assume that we need to wind them to the correct times, but we don't have the tool just yet. I've been skirting around this coffin with a vampire inside, but let's examine it. There's a vampire sleeping inside. Let's look closer. Nothing to say. He's not real, obviously. Okay. Having moved away slightly, the vampire has suddenly sat up. The vampire sat up. It made me jump, says Mara. You and me both. He's kind of cute though. Okay, well. Here's another painting. It says, Song in a Cage by Lasciere Sunore. That is a complete guess. I'm not sure how to say that name. Another bookcase. This one says, The says the tall wooden crates can be broken open at the cost of a single handgun bullet. However, there's no guarantee you'll find anything useful inside. Okay, good to know. And one last bookcase which says, A Swift and Sudden End by B. Slane. Is that the same book as is in this bookcase? A Swift and Sudden End. Well, we got one useful thing from the bookcase. The final object in this room is a piano. I think that we all need to play some notes. One would be fade, F-A-D-E. One would be dead, D-E-A-D. And the final one, which we have looked at most recently, is the one I've forgotten. Cage, C-A-G-E. Okay, let's give it a go. Mara says that my mum used to make me practice every day. Well, let's play it. Let's start with fade. That's one done. Let's do dead next. Oh, okay. Right. So rather than doing all of them at once, when we play each of the series of notes, it opens up the corresponding painting. The one that corresponds to dead is a tunnel we can crawl through. Let me just try fade again to see if that's also a tunnel. F-A-D-E. Oh, this one isn't. This one is actually a box of shotgun shells. Again, we don't have the shotgun yet, but we're gonna have a lot of shells when we find it. So the final sequence to try is C-A-G-E. Oh, who is this? It's an adorable looking mushroom. Oh, it's following me around the room. Oh, isn't this just adorable? Well, let's examine it. He says, I'm a little mushroom boy. I'm a little mushroom boy. I'll use my mushroom magic to grant you a wish. Tell me what it is that you wish. What's that? You want to improve the range of your flamethrower. To each their own, I guess. I feel a bit bad refusing, but I don't have a flamethrower yet. Let's refuse for now. Maybe he'll offer us something else. No thanks. Oh no, he says, wow. Rude. Let's try talking to him again. Yes, hello little mushroom boy. Well, he's offered us the improved range again. Let's just get the wish and see what happens. Oh, wait, he says. You don't even have a flamethrower. Yeah, I noticed that. No wish for you. Okay. upset if he wasn't so adorable. Well, I think having just made our new friend, I think now is a good time to stop. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining me. And I hope that you'll come back again soon to have a closer look around Crow Country. I think we're getting closer to the truth behind this mysterious theme